Hey, what's up guys? Joker here. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MasterPulse Pro Gaming Headset from CoolerMaster, which is launching in the United States today for $99. And if you are interested in picking these up at the end of the review, then I will be leaving a link down in the description below over to Amazon. Starting off with the specs, these are sporting 44mm drivers with 50 ohms of impedance, which I found to be quite powerful. Initially, they were up at 100% volume within Windows, but I had to quickly turn that down to get to a comfortable listening volume, and I found that I was usually sitting between about 10 to 20%, depending on if I was using stereo mode or the virtual surround. There is also a microphone built right into the headset itself, and the weight on these is 330 grams. The ear cups themselves, which are an over-ear design, I measured across side to side and vertically. Side to side, it was 45 millimeters from the inside of the ear cup and 65 millimeters vertically. So unless you're, sporting some serious flying saucers for ears, you should be able to fit them comfortably inside the MasterPulse Pro headset. As far as the build quality is concerned, it is very solid using an aluminum frame all around, so it is quite strong and durable. I feel probably should last you quite a while if you do take care of them. And they do have nice comfy ear cups as well, pretty thick padding on these. I didn't find that my ears were kind of making contact with the inside of the drivers, which I had experienced recently on one of the creative headsets. The ear cups were rather shallow, and I really don't like it when I can actually feel my ears touching the cloth over the drivers on the inside of the ear cup, but I did not have that issue with these at all. Putting them on at first, I would say that the clamping force was a little strong, but they did loosen up after just a few hours of using them, and they were very comfortable during long gaming sessions. If I was rocking out really hard, I would notice that they would kind of start to slip down my head, but in normal use cases, they were absolutely fine. They stayed on pretty darn well, and they were comfortable, like I said, during really long gaming sessions. The headband is not the kind that you would adjust and sort of lock into place. It's a sort of the stretch band design that you've seen on a lot of headsets with the metal frame going over the top to help add rigidity to the overall headset. But this is very comfortable, the headband as well. It's got 5 individual cushions going all the way across, so I didn't feel any pain or anything like that on the top of my head when I was wearing these playing Battlefield 1. And for connecting the headset to your PC or your gaming console, this will work on a gaming console, so if you're out there playing on Xbox One or PS4, you'll be able to connect this right over USB. It's got a gold-plated USB connector, which is 2 meters long on the flat red rubber cable, which is designed to help prevent tangling. Also on the USB cable, which connects to your PC or your console, we do have an inline remote here, which has a few buttons of functionality here. You can go ahead and adjust the colors on the side of the headset with the large button in the middle, which goes between quite a few different RGB colors, either set ones, or you can kind of have them, rolling through all of the different colors on the headset. You can also adjust your volume in here, which adjusts the levels directly within Windows on the controller itself. You can also disable the microphone on or off from the controller and enable and disable the virtual 7.1 surround mode. And lastly, there is an EQ button on the side with 3 different modes. 4 different actually. You can have it either off, which is a flat EQ, or you can have it on a music mode, a movie mode, or a gaming mode, which is represented by the red, blue, and purple light. The music mode, which is represented by the red light on the EQ controller, is meant to boost the bass of the headset, which I found to kind of drown out the mids and the highs a little bit too much, so it wasn't an effect that I personally liked using. And the movie mode, which is represented by the blue light, I felt added a lot of compression to the audio, and it just kind of drowned out everything. The highs, the mids, and the lows just felt really kind of compressed. And lastly, the gaming mode, which is represented by the purple light, is designed to boost the mids and the highs. So this would help you out in a game like Battlefield 1, Counter-Strike, so you can kind of hear the footsteps a little bit better, which it does work for those things. So if you are, set on being able to hear more positional audio when you are gaming in a first-person shooter, which is really what this effect is kind of made for, it does work for that. But other than that, I found, besides just that particular use, I found that this would make the highs and the mids somewhat piercing and rather unpleasant over long gaming sessions. So I would actually tend to use the flat EQ, which is just to have it off, so there's no additional coloration to the audio within the headset itself. There is another way you can kind of adjust your EQ with an actual physical change to the headset. It has side panels which actually come off of the back sides of the ear cup. So when you have it off, it's designed to give a boost to the bass, and when you have it on, it's meant to give sort of a tighter, flatter response. But if you have it off, which is what I personally preferred, it does boost the bass up just a little bit, but not enough to, really kind of drown out the mids or the highs. And I personally preferred it to have the side panels off because I felt that it kind of increased the soundstage a little bit, even though it did increase the noise bleeding just slightly. It really wasn't enough to, dissuade me from leaving them off. And like I said, it kind of improved the soundstage just ever so slightly, which was important to me in first-person shooters like Battlefield 1. I thought the headset did a really good job of canceling out background noise. When I had them on, it really would cancel out pretty much everything around me. If I was talking or whatever like that, I could really barely hear my own voice. So if you want something that is going to be able to cancel out the sounds around you, if you live in a noisy environment, then this will do a good job of that, certainly. For games, you can go ahead and put on the 7.1 surround mode. I mean, you can put it on for pretty much anything, but I found that its best use was in games. It did increase the sound stage in Battlefield 1. I'll keep mentioning that because that's the game I've been primarily playing recently, and they have such excellent sound design in that game, so it really does kind of help make or break a headset when you can kind of test it in a gaming scenario, especially when it is a gaming headset like this. So the 7.1 surround did improve the soundstage and gave me a little bit positional audio, but I personally preferred to still use the stereo mode. I'm not a big fan of virtual surround mode in general. These don't have 7 speakers inside each individual ear cup. There's still just one single driver in each ear cup. So the stereo listening mode I felt was the best for me personally. So right now I'm talking to you on the MasterPulse Pro headset microphone, and we are not doing any sort of additional coloration or compression to the audio whatsoever. This is just 100% recording volume going directly into Audacity. I did kind of feel that I had to keep it up at 100% volume when I was on TeamSpeak or Discord, being that this is actually kind of a pinhole mic on the side of the headset. It's an omnidirectional microphone, but because it doesn't have sort of the traditional boom mic that would come out of the side of the headset and come up closer to your mouth, in my testing, I thought that it sounded like the microphone was kind of far away, and my friends on TeamSpeak and Discord had reiterated that back to me as well, saying that I sounded like I was kind of far away from my microphone, as you would expect maybe to hear on other headsets out there. But I think the microphone quality on this is good enough. It's sufficient for talking to your friends while you are playing games, but you probably shouldn't look to do any sort of professional audio recordings if you're doing video work on like YouTube or Twitch streaming, something along those lines. But it actually does do a good job of eliminating background noise, I feel. I'll go ahead and do a quick typing test now so you guys get an idea of how all of that goes. So at the end of the day, I think CoolerMaster has put out a pretty good gaming headset for $99. They have a lot of competition in this area, like the Kingston HyperX Cloud 2s. Creative has a couple headsets around this price point as well, with the wired gaming headsets for around $100. So they do have some stiff competition in this area, but I think CoolerMaster has done a really good job with the MasterPulse Pro headset. I've got no problem recommending it at around $99 for gamers that want a gaming headset specifically for the features that are advertised going along with this, like the included microphone, which is actually quite nice that it's hidden away and it's not like a detachable mic or anything like that. So it does make them slightly less cumbersome that they've actually been able to cut that down and still keep the microphone quality sounding acceptable, certainly for a gaming scenario. You're not going to be able to use it for video production or anything or streaming, but, for just talking to your friends online, it should be perfectly fine for that stuff. So, like I said, I've really got no trouble recommending this headset for the price point of $99, and who knows, maybe in the future, we might see that price even come down a little bit. Sales, Black Friday, who knows, but I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I will be leaving a link down in the description below over to Amazon if you do want to pick up the MasterPulse Pro headset from CoolerMaster, and I will catch you guys next time. Turn.